The private dining room at Meridian was exactly as I'd designed it 3 years ago when I bought the place. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor, Italian marble floors, custom lighting that made everyone look like they'd just stepped off a magazine cover. My family loved it here. They'd been coming every month since it opened, dropping thousands on wine lists and chefs tasting menus. They had no idea I signed their checks. "Emma, sweetie, could you not lean on the table like that?" My mother's voice cut through the ambient music. "It's common." I straightened up, smoothing down my simple black dress. Nothing designer, nothing flashy. Just clean and presentable. The same kind of outfit I wore when I actually did work at a restaurant. 7 years ago, putting myself through business school while my family vacationed in the Hamptons. "Sorry, Mom." My sister Victoria adjusted her Cartier bracelet, the one Dad bought her for closing a mid-level marketing deal. "I just think it's sad, that we're celebrating Dad's 60th birthday and Emma shows up looking like she just got off a shift." My brother Marcus laughed, loosening his tie. "She probably did. Weren't you working lunch service today, Em?" "Something like that," I said quietly. Dad cleared his throat, trying to smooth things over the way he always did, by changing the subject, not by defending me. "The menu here is exceptional. I'm thinking the Wagyu. Marcus, you'll appreciate the wine selection. I saw they have the 05 Chateau Margaux. 1,200 a bottle," Marcus said approvingly. "Now that's a celebration." Victoria leaned toward me, lowering her voice to that particular pitch she used when she wanted to sound concerned instead of cruel. "Emma, have you thought any more about the job I mentioned? Dad's firm has an administrative opening. It's entry-level, but it's steady. Better than this." She gestured vaguely at me, at my life, at everything I'd supposedly failed to become. "I'm good, Vic. Thanks, though." "She's being stubborn," my mother announced to the table. "Patricia's daughter just made junior partner at her law firm. She's only 31. I was 31. But apparently that detail didn't need to be mentioned. The sommelier appeared, presenting the wine to Dad with the proper ceremony. Dad nodded approvingly, not even glancing at the price. He never did, not here. Not at Meridian, where the bills mysteriously never seemed quite as high as they should be for the amount they consumed. Funny how that worked. "To 60 years, Dad announced, raising his glass once everyone was served. "To family, success, and many more blessed years ahead." "To Dad," everyone chorused. I sipped my wine. A beautiful vintage, really. I'd personally selected every wine on this list, working with our master sommelier for 6 months to create something special. The 05 Margaux was my favorite. Worth every penny of that $1,200 price tag, my brother was so proud of knowing. Dinner arrived in waves. Hamachi crudo. Butter poached lobster. The wagyu Dad ordered, so perfectly marbled it practically melted on the plate. I'd hired the chef myself, stealing him from a Michelin 3-star in New York by offering him equity in the company and creative freedom. The food was worth the investment. Meridian had a 4-month waiting list. "So Emma," Marcus said, cutting into his ribeye. "Still at that little cafe in the Arts District? What's it called again?" "I work various places," I said simply. "Various places." Victoria shared a look with Mom. "That's called being unable to hold down steady employment." "Victoria, that's unkind," Dad said mildly, but he didn't actually disagree. Just made the correction like he was checking her tone instead of her content. "I'm just saying it's Dad's 60th birthday. Look around this table. Marcus is VP at his firm. I just launched my own consulting business. Even the cousins are doing well. And then there's," she stopped herself, but we all knew how that sentence ended. "And then there's Emma, the family disappointment." "I'm doing fine," I said. "Really? Fine is relative, honey." Mom patted my hand. We just want you to be secure. Successful. We worry about you in that little apartment working all those odd jobs." That little apartment was a 3-bedroom penthouse in the Pearl District that I'd paid cash for 2 years ago. But they'd only seen it once, briefly, and I'd been careful about what I let them see. Some furniture from IKEA in the living room. Nothing too expensive in view. The less they knew, the simpler my life stayed. "I appreciate the concern," I said. The table shifted to other topics. Marcus's latest deal. Victoria's new consulting client. Some tech startup that would probably fail based on the business model she was describing, but I didn't mention that. Mom's charity gala. Dad's golf handicap. I let it wash over me, nodding at the right moments, smiling when appropriate. Then dessert arrived. A custom chocolate creation with "Happy 60th" written in gold leaf. And with it came James, Meridian's general manager. James was excellent at his job. I'd promoted him from floor manager 8 months ago after the previous GM retired. He was detail-oriented, professional, and had increased our efficiency by 18% while improving customer satisfaction scores. Worth every penny of his 6-figure salary. He approached the table with a bottle of champagne, Krug, one of the prestige cuvées we reserved for special occasions. "Compliments of the house," he announced, beginning to pour. "For such a special celebration." Dad looked delighted. "That's exceptional service. What is this, the Krug?" "The 2008, James confirmed. "One of our finest vintages." "This restaurant really is something special," Mom said. "We must tell all our friends." "Please do," James said warmly. Then his eyes landed on me. His expression shifted, just slightly, just enough for someone watching closely to notice. "Good evening, Miss Thornton. I hope everything has been to your satisfaction." The table went quiet. "Perfect as always, James," I said calmly. "The hamachi was exceptional tonight. I'll pass your compliments to Chef." He paused, then added, because James never could resist a bit of dramatic flair. "Will you be reviewing the new menu proposals tomorrow, or would you prefer I email them for your consideration?" You could have heard a pin drop. Victoria's fork actually clattered against her plate. Marcus stopped mid-sip, the wine glass frozen halfway to his mouth. "Email is fine," I said evenly. "I'll look them over this weekend." "Wonderful. Enjoy your evening. And happy birthday, Mr. Thornton." James gave a small bow and departed, leaving behind a silence so thick you could cut it with a knife. Dad was the first to speak. "Did he just... Emma, did he call you boss?" I finished. "Yes." "I don't understand," Mom said slowly. I took a sip of the Krug. "Excellent as always. The hamachi really was good tonight. Chef absolutely nailed the yuzu dressing." "Emma." Marcus's voice was sharp. "What the hell is going on?" I set down my champagne glass, meeting each of their eyes in turn. "I own Meridian. I've owned it for 3 years. I also own Meridian Harbor, Meridian Heights, and the 3 other locations we're opening next quarter in Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. The restaurant group is currently valued at approximately $87 million. Silence. "Then, that's not funny," Victoria said. "It's not a joke." "You're a waitress," Marcus said flatly. "I was a waitress 7 years ago while getting my MBA. Then I was a restaurant manager. Then I bought a failing bistro with money I'd saved and a small business loan. I turned it around, sold it for 4 times what I paid, and invested that into acquiring Meridian when it was bankrupt. I rebuilt it from the ground up. The whole chain." Dad's face had gone pale. Emma, that's not possible." "It's very possible. It happened. You've all been eating here monthly for 3 years. Every time you come, management makes sure your bills are adjusted down by about 40%. You've probably saved $100,000 in dining costs, collectively, because I've been quietly subsidizing your meals." Mom's hand went to her throat. "Why wouldn't you tell us?" "Because of this." I gestured at the table. "Because 5 minutes ago Victoria was telling me I dress common and Marcus was mocking my odd jobs. Because at every family gathering for the past 7 years, I've been the punchline. The disappointment. The one who couldn't quite figure it out." "That's not fair," Victoria protested. "Isn't it? Tell me, Vic, what did you say to Aunt Patricia last Christmas?" She went red. "I don't remember." "You said it was embarrassing having a sister who couldn't get a real job. You said it in front of 15 people. I was standing right there. I was drunk. You were honest." I turned to Marcus. "And you told Dad's golf buddies that I was working on finding myself, like I was some kind of eternal teenager. You're 2 years older than me, Marcus. 2 years. We graduated high school practically together. But somehow my timeline is failure and yours is ambition." "Emma, honey," Mom started. "I'm not angry," I interrupted, and I meant it. My voice was calm, measured. "I'm really not. I understand why you thought what you thought. I let you think it. I dressed down at family events. I kept my car parked a few blocks away. I never corrected your assumptions. That was my choice and I own it. But why? Dad's voice was bewildered. Why hide it? Because I wanted to build something real, something mine without the pressure of family expectations. Without Dad trying to give me advice or Marcus trying to compete or Victoria trying to manage my brand. I smiled slightly. And because, honestly, part of me wanted to see how long it would take before any of you asked real questions. Before someone thought to wonder how I afforded to live in the city at all if I was barely scraping by. No one said anything. 7 years, I continued. Not one of you asked to see my apartment. Not one of you asked what I did with my business degree. You all just accepted the narrative that I was failing. Because it was easier than believing I might have actually succeeded in a way that didn't look like your version of success. The champagne had gone flat in their glasses. The thing is, I said, pulling my phone from my purse, I'm not telling you this to be cruel. I'm telling you because tomorrow morning, I'm meeting with my financial advisors to restructure some investments. And you're all involved in those investments directly or indirectly. I pulled up the documents I'd prepared. Always be prepared, that's what my business school professors taught me, and slid my phone to the center of the table. Dad, your firm banks with Pinnacle Trust, correct? I'm majority shareholder as of 6 months ago. Marcus, your VP position? The firm you work for is a subsidiary of a holding company I acquired last year. And Victoria, I looked at my sister. That tech startup you just signed as a client? I'm their primary angel investor. I own 30% of the company. Marcus grabbed the phone, scrolling frantically. His face went from red to white in about 10 seconds. This can't be real, he whispered. It's very real. I've been building a portfolio for 7 years. Restaurants, real estate, tech investments, financial services. My current net worth is approximately $234 million. Give or take a few million depending on the market. Mom looked like she might faint. Tomorrow, I continued, I'm restructuring how I handle family investments. From now on, everything will be transparent and at market rate. No more adjusted bills here at Meridian. No more quiet interventions when Dad's firm has cash flow problems. Yes, I know about the bridge loan last year. No more recommendations from Marcus's firm that I've been sending their way through my network. All of it stops. Emma, you can't, Victoria started. I own the controlling interest. I can do whatever I want. I took another sip of champagne. But I'm not doing this to punish you. I'm doing this because I'm tired of being invisible. I'm tired of being the family embarrassment while I quietly hold up half the businesses you all work for. The silence stretched out. Finally, Dad spoke, his voice rough. Emma, sweetheart, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything tonight. This is your birthday. Enjoy your dessert. The chocolate ganache really is exceptional. I stole the pastry chef from a hotel in Paris. I stood up, placing my napkin on the table. I'll email you all the relevant documents tomorrow. We can schedule a proper family meeting to discuss the restructuring. Maybe next month. Where are you going? Mom asked faintly. Home. I have an early morning. New property acquisition in Vancouver. A hotel actually. Should be a good investment. I pulled on my coat. Happy birthday, Dad. 60 looks good on you. I made it 3 steps before Dad's voice stopped me. Emma. Wait. I turned back. He was standing now, tears in his eyes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't see you. Really see you. Something in my chest loosened slightly. I know, Dad. We're proud of you, he said. I'm proud of you. I should have said that years ago no matter what job you had. I should have asked more questions. I should have. His voice broke. It's okay, I said quietly. And meant it. We'll figure it out. We've got time. Mom was crying now too. Victoria looked shell-shocked. Marcus just kept staring at my phone like the numbers might change if he looked hard enough. One more thing, I said. James has instructions to treat you all like any other customers from now on. Which means you'll experience Meridian the way our regular guests do. Exceptional service, perfect food and full price. I think you'll find it's absolutely worth it. I smiled at them, a real smile this time, not the careful, neutral one I'd been wearing all night. See you at the family meeting. I walked out through the restaurant, past tables of happy diners who had no idea they were eating in an establishment built from the ground up by the girl in the simple black dress. Past the host stand where reservations stretched months into the future. Past the bar where our signature cocktails cost $28 each and people paid it gladly. Outside, my driver waited with my car. Not the old Honda I drove to family events, but the midnight blue Audi I actually owned. As we pulled away, I glanced back at Meridian, its windows glowing warm against the night sky. My family would be okay. Tomorrow would be complicated, probably messy. There would be difficult conversations and hurt feelings and the inevitable awkwardness of rebuilding relationships on honest foundations. But tonight, driving away from my restaurant wearing my simple black dress, I felt lighter than I had in 7 years. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. Sometimes it's just finally telling the truth.